Click.
Okay.
As he carefully listens.
And there. That's the social media's out.
I heard a boop.
And we're live.
Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're live. Coming to you live.
Yeah.
Can't stop this signal, even though it would probably be best if you could. Hey, we're just getting ready, doing a little pre-show stuff. Set up for another Lennox weekly, daily Wednesdays. Let's get our boop timer up so we don't derp about too much before getting into the show proper. Oh,
That doesn't really work on Saturdays.
it has helped. It has helped. It has helped. We've been getting out. If you don't know, we do a gaming show on Saturdays. That is pretty consistent 5-hour stream.
Mm-hmm.
But we've managed to get to the gaming aspect of it, the after shows, and by midnight instead of 1:45.
Yeah.
You know, the sun's not coming up when we're closing out the show. Telling you, is there anything better on a Wednesday than a nice cup of Arch User's Tears? So delicious.
Yes, praise Venn. Feed his ego. God damn it.
Ego.
Ego.
Before, you know what? I'm going to trade in my ego praising for speech lessons for Pedro. I'm going to be generous, man.
Every now and then, I slip an H where there shouldn't be one. I remove an H from where there should be one. But,
Steve's even getting you, man. And I got to give Steve some credit. That's a pretty good burn, man.
yeah, no, I totally deserve that one. I had the sentence in my head, just like, okay, gotta get it right. Nope. Okay.
Not happening. Not today. What do we say? Not today.
What do we say to the god of good pronunciation? Not today.
Y'all, I don't know. Man. Nothing I can say on a Wednesday. Things I can say on Saturdays. Let me see. So we were talking before the show. Genuinely 5 minutes before we went live. The new cable modem show.
Woohoo!
In which I quite honestly told Pedro that was too close. Even my YOLO-loving self. That 5 minutes, I wasn't going to risk it. However,
That would be a very big fire to put out.
if I'd had 10 minutes, I couldn't have made that promise. 10 minutes, I might have tried to get it set up before the show. Yep, hopefully it won't be a pain to get set up. Hopefully. Oh, and we're also expecting a UPS guy to come pick stuff up.
So if you get a lot of me during the show,
Right.
you know what happened.
If there's a sudden camera like fade to Pedro and I'm just like peace among worlds and I disappear for a minute and a half. That's what's going on. Just letting everybody know.
Yeah.
And if it's too atrocious, I'll be able to fix it in post.
I'm sure Venn will find some very convenient cut points.
This is why I need to go ahead and get that other Ring doorbell just so I could fire it up on one of these monitors and be like, hey, what's going on? You're on the show. Because they have two-way. I've used that, ladies. I've used that exactly once with my doorbell in the front of the house. Then I disabled it because it was annoying. Because every time it saw something move, it's like something move. You know, it was like the dog that barks at everything.
Mm-hmm.
They've probably updated it by now, but it didn't have you know, some Ritalin setting on it.
Yeah.
Just calm down a little bit.
No, something is moving.
Right, the thing. Did you hear the thing?
That's called the wind.
Oh, man.
Speaking of wind, we've been getting some nice gusts of wind here. Nothing
Not
like walking
where
out
I
of the
thought
house
you
to
were
like.
going with that one.
No. Again, not Saturday. But yeah, no, I've been walking out of the house like, 50 kph of wind. Good times. Yeah, that's like the VGA to DVI, DVI to DisplayPort, DisplayPort to HDMI.
Oh, sweetheart, you young boy. No, that is RS-232 to LTP printer ports.
Yep. And then LTP to COM.
Well, that's an RS-232 connector as a COM port.
Yeah. Oh, okay, right. And then what's the other big one?
I call him Charles. He's kind of sketchy.
Because, like, the big ones back in my day were just DLPTs.
I got the big ones. I got some, like, SCSI ultra-wide 2 cables for external SCSI. You could tow cars with these things, man. I mean, they are massive.
Internal SCSI, yeah, had a few. Heck, if you just intertwine to IDE/PATA cables, ribbon cables, you could tow anything.
I remember somebody gave me a Mac and I was going to do something with it and I slid the case off and so it was all SCSI inside. I just went, nope, closed it back up and it's been in my closet ever since.
Oh, speaking of Macs, I might actually be getting one for work. There's an old iMac that's just sitting. It hasn't been used in like 5 years. And I said, yeah, can I have that? Well, you're IT, so yeah, you can have that all you want. Cool. Gimme.
Serial cable and a null cable? Subcutaneous? I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know if there would be anything visible that you could tell the difference with.
Wires. I can adjust pinouts, man. Just give me a pair of needle nose.
I don't know, the other day we had someone in one of the meeting rooms because there's one meeting room that has a 4K display. It's a projector, it can put out 4K, and it's actually really nice to look at. But they were going like, oh yeah, we only have this VGA cable and we'd like to do the full 4K. You can do that. You just plug it in and it'll do 30 FPS. Oh, VGA can't do 4K. Yes, it can. You'll only get 30 hertz, but it can do it just fine. Oh, no, there's no way. Okay, give me your laptop. Plugged in the VGA cable, plugged in the VGA cable to the switchboard. There you go. Oh, wow, is that actually putting out 4K? Went into the options menu for the projector? Yes, it is. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Okay.
And when Pedro left the room, the one dude slid the other dude like a copper, 5 pounds. Like, told you, get him plugged in the VGA cable.
Probably. Now, here's the thing. NHS England, they don't really know. They don't really have an internal IT team. So chances are they probably don't know. So that's my ego resting on that.
I'm just letting you know what the situation would have been if it was me in that room.
Actually, that room is really nice. It used to be, because the place where I work used to be lunatic asylum, and the that meeting room used to be the chapel, and now it's got big old projector facing the wall with the 4Ks and everything else, and it's got a little, what's it called, place where you give presentations, and it
A lectern?
it's got lectern. Yes, thank you. And it's got the switchboard down below where you can just plug in HDMI, DisplayPort, VGA, DVI, whatever. Yeah.
See, even after all these years, I think there's always going to be an end to the story. Other than like, yeah, it never fails to get my hopes up, man. You get me every time.
It's a really nice meeting room, is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Gets me every time. Just like, where's the popcorn, man? There's no popcorn for you.
There is no popcorn. I'm easily amused. Okay.
Strider, don't do drugs at work, sweetheart. I mean, you can, but don't leave incriminating evidence like that online while you're All right. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Interesting spelling of composite.
Composites.
There.
That's composites.
It makes more sense than the shit you type. All right. An anti-faffing tool? What else?
Anti-faffing about tool.
Why do you give me the dumb stuff to read? All right. Yeah, all right. I'll work with that. Don't worry.
All right.
In 3, 2.
Someone else debunks a Linux vulnerability.
Linux has invaded the Nintendo Switch.
KDE composites with Vulcan.
And someone wrote an what did you call that again? A faffing about tool?
Yes.
Can't wait to find out about that. Hey, it's another great day for Linux, everyone. Let's go.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we're going to sit back, relax, and hey man, how about we just talk about some of the cool things we found going on in Penguin Land. Pedro.
That works.
Boom. Just on time. Okay, we're going to do a restart.
Nailed it! Listen carefully. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse. I'll take that. Honestly, I'm going to take that because that's we can easily do a restart and okay. Even though that was
it was right after the cutoff point, so yeah, it's fine.
Let's see. Okay. And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we're going to sit back, relax, and take that midweek break. And hey, man, how about we just talk about some of the cool things going on in the world of Penguin Land? I'm Venn Stone, joined every week by this beautiful, beautiful. Well, Pedro's here in his place, but
yes,
yeah,
couldn't get the beautiful person, whoever that is.
Oh, your gorgeous girlfriend. Hey man, what's been going on in your world? What's been rocking your socks this week?
Well, Nori's birthday's coming up, so I've been getting ready for that. She wants to have a bunch of friends over, so that's going to be an interesting Sunday. Let's go with interesting. Interesting is good.
Could be interesting. We just kind of had to do a little restart because I had a lot of packages moving around and stuff like that. And exercising something I'm not very good at responsibility and self-restraint. I didn't plug up our new cable modem thingy that I ordered. So to help stabilize this almost gigabit internet hybrid thing they've given me. So, let's just get right into it. But before we do, I want to give this a quick mention because I like to get on the Twitter sometimes. And everyone knows I've kind of switched over to Firefox as my primary browser. Now, I realized something. Have you noticed this? I guess this is where we should start. It seems like more than 40% of web zones that I'm visiting, they've just went crazy with, please let us send you push notifications on your browser. Now, I'm not talking mobile. That it's almost as irritating as like, I would like to know your location. No. Or updates and all that. In Chrome, there's a global nope button that you can tap and it's like, done. Firefox? No. You got to go to About Config. And you know there's a problem in design here when you have to do that. There's a way to disable it. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because Ben Kelly got back to me. You might know him. He's on the DOM team at Mozilla. Yeah, he works at Firefox. To let everyone know, in Firefox 59, it's going to be a menu option, privacy and security, notifications and settings. And that will no longer be a problem. I just want to let everyone know that, in a couple of weeks. So it's going to be good.
It's still a couple of weeks, well, a couple of months too late, because every single news website that you go to nowadays has that really annoying, ooh, we would like to send you desktop notifications. No. No.
It is a perfect example of like, that would be great if I wanted it. And if you give some companies just that little way into the door, everyone's going to start using it. And that's exactly what happened. So this week, Linux, all Linux servers were completely hacked. It totally wasn't just like 100 servers and run by what could best be described as morons, right?
Yeah, no, totally not. Absolutely. So you may have heard it. There was a Linux vulnerability. Well, heavy air quotes around that. And they called it the chaos vulnerability, which was put out by Go Secure. And they said, everyone is vulnerable. The moment that someone gets access to a root shell, they can forward port whatever and get this to run. It's like, wait a second. Backtrack that a little bit. The moment they get root access to a shell? Okay, so how exactly are they getting root access to a shell? They're getting that by brute forcing with weak passwords?
No, Pedro, you get root access the old-fashioned way with pliers.
Or a really big wrench, yes. But yeah, no, this is a complete non-story. It's just someone else who found a way to drive clicks. In this case, it was Go Secure, who said, yeah, we need some of those angry Linux fanboy clicks. And they found that if you forwarded a certain port and you ran a certain bit of software, that you could get certain Linux servers to do some things. Now, of course, that all depends on you getting access to a root shell. But if you have access to a root shell, you have bigger things to worry about than, I don't know, forwarding a port.
Well, on top of
that, at that point, everything's on fire.
True. And even if you get that, I mean, you're going to have some weak sauce passwords in that business to deal with that. But my favorite thing in the ZDNet article, I'm sorry, I'm distracted because it's ZDNet, you have to like block elements because it wants to show you an unrelated. their web zone right now is having seizures trying to show me stuff that I don't want to see, and I find that very amusing. But in the article, it does say, maybe there are many idiotic system admins. There aren't that many idiotic system admins after all. To which I will retort, I still get plenty of contract work. So, booga booga. A lot to do about nothing. Up next, though. Go.
No, it's just if you really have a really weak password that can be easily brute forced,
1, 2, 3 monkey.
You have bigger problems than someone getting root access to your box. Just saying. So, up next we have Unity. Yeah, it's well, you know that Unity was discontinued officially by Canonical, but someone else picked up the project, and the Unity 7.4.5 update is now available, and it comes with an improved low graphics mode. And it's well, it's a low graphics mode. That's the news here. It's a Unity sort of they're trying to get whatever is out there as stable as it could possibly be, but the big thing to announce is the low graphics mode.
Well, there's that, man. And I put in the show notes, it's like, why would God need a starship? I mean, wait a minute. Why would Unity need a low graphics mode? To which almost predictably, Miss Popey, Alan Pope, he kind of popped in because he's a patron and you have access at certain levels to leave comments and suggestions in our show notes. And what did he write? I should have that pulled up. I'm being a horrible host.
He says, some people like running Ubuntu in remote environments, VNC/RDP, X2Go, whatever, and this speeds things up for them. That's what he said.
Then again, if you got a we were talking before we went live, if you got a remote in and you need, we were trying to come up with the bizarro scenarios where this would be a legitimate issue. Hey, but check this out. Yeah, the bug performance fixes, high DPI support. I'd almost want to try that, but...
It's Unity.
Yeah, I might even try like Pop! OS and KDE or GNOME or virtually anything else.
Well, KDE can actually do per display DPI settings now, so Unity's got a lot of ground to catch up.
Could be interesting, worth a look, but according to the article, it is only available for 1604 LTS right now. So, yeah, that completely ruled out any chance of, like, a curiosity, see what this does. Electron App of the Week coming up next. Desktop app beta testing for Bitwarden. And it's a thing. What is this? This stores passwords, right? No more, no less?
It is a password vault. That's what it does.
I was kind of excited about this, It's a desktop app, Bitwarden, and... It's like, hey, test it. Check it out. It's a thing. Then I started reading, and it's Electron wrapped Nope on the desktop. That Nope is, however, available as an app image, but I still didn't try it. I don't use password managers, man. I feel alone in that.
I do. I use KeePassX. Still using it. I have been using it for the past however many years, and it works. And as long as it keeps working, I'm going to keep using it. Yeah.
I don't have anything to add to people like, you need to use LastPass and all that. I don't have anything against using it. It's like, you're crazy for using that. It's just, I can remember numbers and letters and capitalizations.
Yeah, admittedly, some people actually like to do the whole, it's like, oh, come up with a completely new password, or basically just drop your hand on the keyboard and wave it around a couple of times. That's my password. There's no way in hell I'm going to remember that, so I'm going to get a bit of software to do it.
Well,
it works, right?
You got to be careful. Like security, you could smash your head repeatedly against the keyboard for about 3 to 5 minutes, but that's reproducible because you will effectively generate the opening chapter of Twilight.
Monkeys and typewriters type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess I do use a password manager. I use Chrome. And I use Chrome Sync, and I now use Firefox Sync too. So that's the thing. This is not a gaming show. We do that on Saturdays. This kind of has a gaming angle because we're using a gaming device, which let's see, Pedro would call it an NVIDIA Shield. But now
it is.
They got a Linux business on it, man. Failover Flow. turns a Nintendo Switch into a full-fledged Linux PC. Are we happy about this? It's KDE Plasma up and running, complete with support for touchscreen input, internal connectivity, and 3D graphics. So this is I think it's Tegra-based, right?
Oh yes, it's the Tegra X1 SoC. It's the Shield tablet that never came to be because, let's face it, NVIDIA just put out the Shield tablet to act as a prototype, a proof of concept for possible buyers. And that buyer was Nintendo, and they put out the Nintendo Switch, which is just a Shield tablet with Nintendo branding on it. And fail overflow have already been reported over the past couple of days that, yeah, we got Linux running on it. There's a big firmware bug that can't really be fixed by Nintendo. The only way to actually fix it would be to bake a new SoC without the vulnerability. So they're not going anywhere. And if you have, for some reason, bought a Switch, Jordan, and you want to try your Linuxes on it, well, now you have a desktop environment. Admittedly, it's KDE, so your, results may vary. Whatever.
You know that butchering of the English language was impressive even for you. I mean, well done, sir. Well done.
Results may vary, yes. But yeah, you can get KDE running the touchscreen and the gestures, at least the pinch for zoom functionality all works, which is great. And the it's a Switch that runs Linux. That's good.
I think it's good. It's neat. It adds extra functionality because if you're the type of person that's going to buy a Switch, you already own a Switch. Now you're like, ooh, new and interesting ways to fix it. And I do like the fact that they have just flat out said the only way they're going to patch this is with a brand new Switch. So, and it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo, pretty much everything since like the Wii has been running some form of homebrewed Linux at some point. So. Good to see. Interesting.
It's a hybrid between BSD and Linux. That's what they usually do.
All right. You can send feedback to Pedro at LatexGamecast.com. KDE, man. KDE has, they didn't go to Kronos, man. They went to Vulcan.
Oh, yes. Yes, they did. And the one guy, just the one person, I had his name. It's gone now. Well, he has been Frederick Hoagland, it's right there. I read next time. He's been busy. He's been very busy over the past week or so. And if you look at the particular link that will be included in the show notes, you will see a lot of Vulcan. Yes, that's Vulcan Compositing coming to KDE. Yes! I've actually been screaming for something like this to happen for a long, long time.
I think
Please,
it's completely...
get it running.
Well, actually, I thought it was completely useless until I was scrolling around and I saw Effects wobbly window support with a Vulcan Compositing. The future is here, ladies and gentlemen. I just did it, and as soon as this is baked, I'm going full KDE, man. It's going to be like Compton barrel days all over again. This looks like a one-person effort. The only difficulty for me is I would have to use KDE, and I don't like any KDE after like version 1.3.
Yeah. Well, I am that stubborn one because I really liked KDE 4.12 and the slightly updated revisions that they did after that. They ruined it with KDE 5.0. Again, it's like they didn't learn, but they're slowly getting it more and more stable. So getting a low-level API to do all the 3D compositing on the desktop, getting rid of tearing, getting rid of all that's probably going to release... well, we don't actually know. The patch set is already in. When it's going to release is anyone's guess, but it's possibly going to help performance a little bit with KDE compositing. Because yes, KWin, if you have full compositing enabled all the time, it will affect performance to some degree. It's a compositor. It's always going to affect some gaming performance, especially. But with Vulcan... that could be a thing of the past.
No, and with that especially if it's running on X, then it'll have feature parity with Wayland, because you would definitely have the ability to hard lock your box with a terminal.
Easily, yeah. Easily. Just set the transparent background, done. Hard lock.
That's the thing. Up next, we just kind of wanted to touch on it. It's not necessarily Linux related. Well, I guess it is, because it's... Google did a thing, and this is for me. I didn't realize I used this so much until Google giveth and Google yoinketh away. It was a view image button. I for the slice of pie, when I look up slice of pie every week, and where's my view image button? I just use that, and they took it away. It was some legal thing, but there are already the plugins. View image, I've installed. It works. It gets the business done. It's available for Chrome, and it's also available as a Firefox created by Joshua B. All it does is just kind of throw that business back in there like the flying spaghetti monster intended, and that is like a little mention. Did you notice that? I noticed it like a day before it hit the news cycle. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, maybe that's just a bug. So I right-click and view image, then do that.
I didn't notice it immediately, but then I saw people on Google Plus going, "Oh, it's gone. Oh, this what have Google done? It's like the view image thing is gone." It's like Google image search. Oh yeah, that's gone. Huh.
Oh man. You know what? We should probably.
But it's back now.
We should probably just get offline anyway and just get focused, man. Pay attention to other things, important things.
Let's do our jobs, whatever those may be. Well, someone else seems to be with us on that, and they created sort of a mild hosts deny script that you can load by just feeding it 2 arguments. You feed it the first argument, which is a list of whitelisted websites that you can go to, and let's say you're coding and you want to have just like GitHub, Stack Overflow, Stack Exchange, Amazon AWS, that is, Upwork, Python, whatever. Well, you run this script and you say, for the next 30 minutes or so, I only want to be able to hit those websites. And that's what you do. If you try to access any other website, like say you want to go to Twitter or you want to go to Discord, it's just going to say, nope, can't do that. And it won't let you do that. So good on them. It's actually, okay, admittedly, it's a limited appeal project because they seem to be like targeting it at people who are trying to exert some sort of self-control. We all know better than to try that.
Hey man, listen, do you know what helps with self-control, Pedro? Drugs.
Can't really go anywhere with that today.
Listen, man, I think this is an absolutely neat idea, but you know, if you know how to set something like this up, you know how to get around it. This is face facts. This could be a solid tool to teach your kids how to bypass security locks. I mean, I'm all for that. You know, you put it in hard mode for them. But yeah, I mean, it filters the outgoing request through a transparent proxy, and so you'll be able to do stuff at the URL level. That's interesting to you. Go check it out. It'll be in our show notes. KDN Live. Man, I've just adopted the KDE Love lately because OpenShot just... Ugh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You had a good product, and I don't know what happened there. But there's a new beta out, and it's in the form of an app image. Not a lot of stuff to report. They're still doing minor bug fixes, refactoring. It's got this like wicked dark theme on it, and they just want people to come yoink a copy and kick the old Kyers. Katie,
kick the Kyers, yes.
Kick the Kyers. There's our show title. Let's see, what did that take? 21 minutes for a show title. Not too bad. But yeah, it's pretty good. I got the app image, loaded it up. I threw some business. There are some things you should be aware of. It's not 100% on loading older version project files. So
yeah.
I saw some things. It's very sluggish. I'm guessing debugging is very much still enabled, obviously. Waveform and timelines that disappear. It seemed like it was kind of curious as to what I was doing at feeding it 3840 by 2160 resolution. Transitions, fade from black to black. Couldn't get that to show up right. And I wouldn't play with it right now unless you just genuinely wanted to play with it. This is like some things you can get away with using it a little bit in production every now and then, just kind of test. This is not it. No. Definitely not.
No, this one they say they want to get it out by the time 1804 comes out, which makes sense. It's the LTS. They want to have something that's solid, something that's baked, even if it doesn't have a whole lot of new features, because that's one thing they mentioned in the very short post, is that they haven't been releasing a whole lot of new features because they've gone back and refactored the entire code base to try and get those new features in more easily. And that's great. That's actually a really good thing. The problem is, as Venn mentioned, the old projects. If you load an old project file in the new version, it's probably not going to work great. But they do want your help. They do want you to help them test this this new version. So by all means, load up that old project file and let them know exactly what breaks.
That is the thing. Hopefully one thing that's never going to break is us, because we are listener supported 100%, loud, live, independent. If you want to get in on that business, come check us out, LatexGamecast.com. Hit the support the show button. We got affiliate links and Patreon. We got a little wish list. All this fun stuff. Oh, the Humble thing. Humble's got a good bum.
A really good
Pedro,
bundle
you're
if you've been waiting
contagious,
for
man.
certain. Yeah.
You were contagious,
Yeah,
sir.
bumble about.
The bumble about. A bunch of cool stuff in there. Thanks everyone who's shopping through our affiliate links. That is really adding up. And everyone who's, I think Jill got some games yesterday. I think several people did through our Humble link. And that also raises money for charity, which is kind of wicked cool. That's an added bonus soda on top of everything else. But I did mention we have a bit of a wish zone. And the reason I bring that business up is just stuff we're adding to the studio and replacing some old decrepit, like poor Zathnas. Oh, that poor thing. Super sexy, fun toys like UPS batteries.
Yes, sexy is the word you're looking for.
Man, it's a straight bawling over here at LGC. But we do want to thank the couple of people that had picked up, especially Michael G. We got to get clarification on that, because if you go back and check Saturday's show, I don't have my props with me because I was rushing down here. He picked us up the Nighthawk G, and that is an excellent router for our 0.5 gigabit internet. That's been working really good. Orn, who's been listening to the show from Bangladesh since forever.
Oh, yes.
A 15-meter data noodle. We looked up what that was in freedom units, but I've forgotten. And Arthurian, a monitor impaler, which I was really tempted to install. You can't get angry at Amazon because it was like 1 letter off. We talked about this in the pre-show.
Yeah.
So check it out. I have another monitor right over here if you don't watch the Saturday show, but to put them up like that, and Arthurian's like, yo, let's do that. It's the co-host impaler is what we're going to call it. Got a glass desk. This is an issue because they sent the one with the clamp instead of the one with the feet. And as entertaining as it would be to live stream clamping down and sticking 2 20-something inch monitors on it, yeah, let's not do that. But Patreon, quick mention of that, 114 beautiful people kicking us. $229. We're bringing this up because it puts us only $21 away from having Miss Is. See, Steve, look it out for you, brother. Jill from Lennox Chicks LA joining us, and it would be awesome to have somebody on the show who knows what they're talking about, Pedro. I think we could make that happen.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make that happen. Come on.
That would make a change, yes.
But this is a great way to support us and get some rewards, up to and including access to our Discord, early access to our complete uncut live feeds. You even get an extra hour of the 3 of these yahoos right here for a pre super shows, and that is you get to be a fly on the wall during our production meeting. And you also allow us to bring you Tuesday and Thursday live streams. And we're probably going to be spooling up a Friday stream with some trivia bits and stuff like that, just to round everything out. Oh man, what is wrong with this pie? Because it is fabulous.
Ooh, that actually looks pretty good. Yeah, no, I totally down that. Well, it's a slice of pie. We're getting just a teeny tiny slice this week, and someone created an NODE always on network Pi plug. And that's exactly what it sounds like. It is a little Raspberry Pi Zero that's been adapted to a wall adapter, and you plug it in, and you got yourself a network computer. You can, if you want to use it as like your computer on the go, you could just find a wall plug, plug it in, boom. As long as there's a network available, it'll connect. You can do basically anything you need from it, which, okay, admittedly, only some people will use. It's got you'll get all the details from the article, but the person that created it also has a YouTube channel, and he demonstrates a few changes that can turn your Zero from just the little faff around box that it is to an actual full-fledged computer that you can get by just plugging it into a wall socket somewhere, and all of a sudden you have a network computer. So that's good.
It's very interesting. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's got plugs on it." Oh, ooh. And yeah, I'm not getting anything like that because I can't think of a single legal use for it. Hashtag I had to say.
Yeah.
Emphasis on legal. Up next, Electro Maker Pi badge is a COM badge for your Pi. You too can have a lithium-ion battery of questionable reliability right next to a vital organ, if you so choose. Device inspired by the COM badge from Star Trek that can turn on computers using speech commands. It's a part list, everything again in our show notes. What is it? A Pi Zero mic, Suguru? All right, that's the thing. 40-pin header, nylon screws. Twist ties. All right, that's the thing. Soldering iron. And you get a free Picard and data from that horrible movie that we'll pretend never happened. I don't know. All right, granted, this is not useful, but come on. This would be great to hand off to.
It's a toy, and admittedly, if you set it up properly and you take your time, you get home, you put on the Pi Zero badge, and let's say some friends drop by, and you're just like, turn on the TV, and the TV pops up. Okay. See, that's got some nerd cred right there. I can see the appeal to that just because, ego boost.
True, and this has a TSA level of like 8.5, so keep this away from airports. 100%.
No, keep it at home. Literally just keep it at home. Don't take it away anywhere.
TSA acceptance factor's way too. It's like the rent on that thing. Keep it away. Maybe you know a cool project or something we should talk about, or maybe a question that you have for us.
Indeed.
How can they do that, man?
Well, you can leave us your question, leave us your feedback by going to linuxgamecast.com. You hit the contact button, fill out the form, make sure to pick LWDW from the little drop-downy menu. It's pretty easy. If you want to leave some hate mail for that Saturday show, what we do, you can do that too. But we will be very, very happy if you actually send us some feedback. Let us know things we can improve, stories that we should have covered but totally didn't. Looking at you, Majea, this week. Yeah. But yeah, it's the best way that you have to get in touch with us. And some people this week actually did. Yeah, man. Veritan Nuda.
Rocking right in with the cool projects. Hey, man, InfoBeamer is a floss project for digital signage and video walls. However, he has recently added the ability to stream across multiple devices using a phone app. Video below, certainly one of the coolest video wall app. Some bold words, Cotton. Applications for the Pi I've seen in a while, and it starts with a green screen. Let's see. Where does this get interesting? We're looking. Describe what we're seeing in the video.
Well, as you can see on the monitors behind him, he's got some QR codes, and on his phone, you actually see a digital representation of those. Now he's actually taking a picture, but in the app, you see exactly what its screen is showing, and you can change what it is showing. It is a cool project, yes. The fact that it works with your phones probably makes it... Yeah. I mean, that is a thing you can do as well. You can do the mosaic style monitor presentation, what you used to be able to do in the 90s, but not a whole lot of companies actually do that nowadays. And you can control it with your phone. So that's... Admittedly, the phone controls really are what sets this one apart. in my opinion.
Well,
Because
being
you
able
just
to do
pull
a
out
video
your phone
wall,
and
yeah,
nailed it.
that
Yeah.
interesting, and it's open source, so
Yep.
anyone can get in there, and you could have we could have fun here, man. It's not like I'm not sitting in the middle of 5 monitors, so get some of that quickly done. All right, what do we have? We got one after this. Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do. Kent asked, what would you recommend for me to learn Linux? I have been running Linux for a couple of months, and I know most of the basics. I want to have a complete understanding of Linux. I just don't know what I should learn about next. You want to have a complete understanding of Linux. Well, I commend you. I do. If it was on Saturday, I'd say something else. But since it's Wednesday, I really do commend you. That is a noble goal, and I hope you achieve it. Because honestly, I've been using Linux since 2005. I know I'm a newbie, but but yeah, no, I complete understanding of Linux. Nope. Mm-mm.
Hey, man, Steve has got it. You got to compile a kernel, which is like a kernel, but it's, listen, I mean, it's like the Masons, man. Once you get high enough at it, we tell you about kernels, and they're related to thetans. I'm just trying to get all the lawsuits in just like one handy package. It's a learning experience, man. Linux has been a journey with me since 1995, 1996, full time, and there's no this is not like getting your MCSE, man. I remember when I was getting my Red Hat certifications. This was after 13 years of full time, 14 years of full time Linux years. I thought my brain was going to melt. Like there's stuff I didn't even question. If you enjoy that, that's where you need to be. Or if you're going to be doing, system-specific type stuff, enterprise, you're going to be focusing on networking, storage, anything like that, that's where you need to be focusing. Or if you just have a general love of it, rock on, do that. I don't know why you're watching this show.
Yeah.
We're glad that you are. I'll say that. And
if what he means is like, okay, what should I try next that'll actually teach me something about Linux? Find a really complicated distro. A distro that is not user-friendly. It's not meant for you to just install it and it's ready to go. By all means, Arch. Arch is a good way because it has the wiki to help you through whenever you get stuck. If Arch is too mainstream for you, go with Gentoo. Or find a distro that just doesn't care, and you'll need a decoder ring to figure out what they're talking about in the forums. Puppy. Yeah, it's mostly just try something new. Try something new and learn from it.
Yeah, Arch is all right. Arch teaches you how to Google so you can copy and paste your solutions to everything. So listen,
it teaches you problem solving. I will give it that.
That's what it's really good for. I would suggest going with Fedora. That's what I did. I started with Red Hat. Well, I started with Slackware back in the day, but as soon as Red Hat came out, I was like, yes, give me some of that Halloween release. And rolled on with that and transitioned to Fedora later on when they, just basically went to RHEL. And that prepared me for a lot of stuff, even though I didn't work professionally, because we're talking the 2000s here, kids. Didn't work professionally so much with Linux. I was working HP UX and AIX and, of course, Solaris. So, but I knew what I was getting into, so that really helped. And Linux is a really cool tool for learning how Unix is supposed to work. Arch is fine, Gentoo is nice, and really anything. I mean, you can put Hannah Montana Linux on there, man. That's fine. Just get it done.
Yeah.
So, and you don't have to nuke anything from orbit in order to change your desktop manager, despite what some people seem to want to believe. What's different in this spin? Well, it's XFCE instead of KDE. It's like, why in the world?
If you want to learn about desktop environments, sure.
If you want to learn about desktop environments, install more than one of them, man. Just saying. All right. On that beautiful bombshell, we're going to get out of here. But before we do that, let's roll these credits and thank all the lovely people that are contained with it.
Oh, yes. All y'all make this possible. We may be the talking faces. We may be the ones annoying the heck out of you because we got something wrong, because we were inaccurate about something. But you, the executive producers, the producers, and everyone, all them fancy zombie internet people who throw some wet sticky caches our way, you all make this show possible. This was a Patreon goal, and we've been doing it for over 2 years now. Over 2 years!
Thank you for everyone who's able to spare 4 quarters a week for our little dog and pony show. We appreciate it. And especially appreciate the ones that contribute a lot more than that. Like,
oh, yes.
Hopefully you're getting some
Chicago does kick a lot of ass.
Boop. All right. Boop. And boop.
Well, only for what I just said. Have you been paying attention? Of course you haven't.
Explodes? Is that the sticky end that results from you? No, it's from exploding yourself, man. Come on, get your shit together. You're slipping, man. You're getting old. It's a Canadian winter, man. It's getting to your brain meats. LWDW. So this is our second run with Discord.
Yes.
I mean, we did it last week for this show, and we tested it Saturday, and everything worked. So,
and it keeps working. It's,
damn it.
I don't want to call it reliable, because that's just going to jinx it, but it keeps working.
Well, I mean, when your competition's Skype, you don't have to do too much.
When your competition is another Electron or a piece of nope that doesn't even care about your audio devices and letting you control auto gain or echo cancellation, or even the noise gate for when it cuts you off by being too quiet to get rid of the background noise. It's, yeah, no, you don't really have a lot to worry about.
Considering I bought a hardware noise gate mainly for you, I just love hearing you talking about that. Give me all the warm fuzzies.
But it's not a noise gate. It's the one for the low end. It's got a different name, but I can't remember it.
I'm not going to help you. I'm just going to sit back, relax, and get comfortable.
User settings, input sensitivity. There we go.
Yeah, that's Pulse Audio. I mean, there's enough stuff to throw Skype under the bus about. That one you need to throw Pulse Audio under the bus about, man. Oh, boy. I got to make a show. Then I'm going to try to install a big, wet, stinky
cable modem.
Big old modem of business. And it says it is capable of 960 megabits. Which would be nice, because my current modem is only capable of 760. Which is anemic.
That's a sizable increase. Let's see, an extra 200 megabits, that's like an extra 20 megs, 20-something megs. Yeah.
You don't understand, man. I only have 70 megabytes down. This is like third world.
And here I am, feeling glad I have like 4.7 down. On a good day.
Yeah, we were talking, but my brain is not adjusted to it because I was downloading a game to test for the show Saturday, and it was like 24 gigs in like 5 minutes. It's like, what? Something wrong with Steam? I don't care about the download speed. I'm paying our internet bill out of pocket, and that number starts with a 2 now every month for the upload speed. Because if you notice, we're sending you 8 up right now, and on Saturdays, and when we're doing streams, we're going to be able to send you 1.5 megabytes out. So we'll definitely have 2 options of like 1080p 30 if we're going to be doing game shows, trivia and stuff like that, talking head stuff, or just some wicked crisp 720p 60.
Yeah.
Bye, Steve.
See you, Steve.
Lunch. I wonder what lunch is the code word for. UPS guy. Just remember that.
Right at the start of the show.
He snuck up on me too. I thought I had it positioned. I got the big. That's why the lights have been going crazy, because I got huge ass windows in here, but I got everything pulled away so I could see outside, because I got a sign on the front of my house. It's like, come around, which is good on him. It's not my regular UPS guy. And I just got to remember to get that out of the show. That's why I'm talking about it. So when I go back to editing, oh man, there's nothing more. Like now it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But there have been times when I was doing editing on Sundays, and like we had like a cut between the news segment, you know, somebody dropped or something like that. Mm-hmm. And this is back when I had 2 megabits up. Megabits? Mm-hmm. So uploading the SD, HD, and MP3 versions took about 4 hours. I'd have everything uploaded. Then I'd go, oh. Then we had to make that edit. Then I had to re-render everything, which took a couple of hours on top of it. I mean, definitely rolling like 73 hours sometimes. No sleep. Well, a nap.
Yeah.
What do you got? More Warhammer? More Warhammer. Let's see.
Mechanicus.
I just want my Tomb Raiders. I don't care.
Yeah.
You say what you want.
Give me Tomb Raider. I actually didn't hate like the 2013 Tomb Raider when it came out on Linux in 2016.
You know, if it would let you skip like the first 35, 40 minutes of the game, that QuickTime event that is called the first 30. Yeah. After that, yeah, that's all right. And it's going to be Vulcan. We're going to be talking about that. I had to ask Farrell some questions for the show Saturday. And yeah, all that business is coming. I've tried, man. I just couldn't get into it. Snowy Tomb Raider.
I don't hate it. So admittedly, I played a lot of Tomb Raider, the first one, when I got my Saturn, because that was the one game I had. Then my parents bought me Sega Rally, and it pretty much cemented my love of
this is why I want Jill. This is why games. I want to hit that goal, just so me and Jill can have a show, and we bring you on every week. It's just called Damn Kids. Tomb Raider on your PlayStation. Play that DOS, son.
Sega Saturn, man, it was the console what I had. I didn't know any better, and I asked my parents for a Sega Saturn, so that one was on me.
Had to use a boot disk. Didn't have enough memory.
They had a boot disk for the Saturn, yeah. That's how you loaded local video store copies.
Used to have before I got my first real PC, had to use boot floppies all the time, man. EMM386, had to comment out that auto-exec.config.sys. I remember doing that. That was a thing. You had to have that disk to play video games.
Yeah, I remember doing that for Doom 2. Didn't even have, like, a sound card. I was just playing Doom 2 with the ad-lib sounds from the PC speaker. Come on. I can English sometimes.
We'll get it looked at.
But yeah, it's... every single time, drop out of Windows 3.11, change auto-exec bat and config sys, reboot, Windows wouldn't start, play the game. After done playing the game, restore auto-exec bat and config sys, reboot again, Windows would start.
Never installed Windows. I went from this clapped out 386SX my mom got me as to knowing it replaced the 286 that she just knew I was going to. She was sacrificing it because I was going to tear it apart and break it, which I did. But my skills had improved enough to have some things running on the 386, but I went from that to a Pentium 75 with 16 megs of RAM, and this was like a 1994, 95 quad speed CD drive. I could run everything. Had a 2 gig hard drive in it. 2 gigs.
My mom's Pentium 2 had a 1.3 gig hard drive in it.
Pentium 2? Oh.
Yeah. It was great because it meant I could play, what was it? Diablo and Fallout. Then I got my Pentium 3 and I started playing Fallout 2 and Diablo 2 because I had a 40 gigabyte hard drive. No matter what I installed, there was plenty of room left for everything. That was like my first very own PC was a Pentium 3. Yeah.
Yeah, drugs, that was a big decision because I forget what store we were at. It was like, all right, you pick a computer, and the two options that they had available was a Pentium 100 with 8 megs of RAM or a Pentium 70, it might have been 75, with 16. It's like, God, let's go with 6. Because straight up bragging rights, man. That's all that was. All that was. Which kind of bit me later on when I bought the Pentium overdrive chip for it because it would only go up to like 120 megahertz.
Yeah, I remember actually telling my classmates, like, yeah, I have the full installation of Diablo 2 on my PC. And they were like, but that takes like 1 gig and 45. That takes like 1 gig 45 fully installed. Well, how do you have room for everything else? Like, I have a 40 gigabyte hard drive. Yeah.
What about that? The new hotness, the 35 terabyte SSD.
Yeah, the SSDs. Yeah, that's a 3.5-inch SSD, by the way.
It could be 5 1/4, and I'd still get a chubby.
So you see SSDs nowadays, they come in like the 2.5-inch form factor, but if you crack open the case and you actually have a look at the PCB,
you get
it's
some memory up
tiny.
in the corner, right? They just filled up the rest of it. They poured some more RAM chips in there.
It's like, oh yeah, we loaded up what is basically a 3.5-inch enclosure with all the flash that your little heart can handle, and it's 30 terabytes. Oh,
and everyone's estimating, this is straight up enterprise stuff. We won't even see this in consumer channels for now, but I mean, like 3 or 4 years. But they were saying somewhere like $32,000 for one. Yeah.
It is still flash. You're still paying a significant premium for it.
But I mean, read and writes were like 1.7 and 1.2.
Yeah.
So, and 10 years from now, you can always go back and like watch this uncut version. It'd be like 32 terabytes. I got that in my phone. Old men.
That is a future that I actually want. I like the idea of having the convergence. You just have the one device. It's your phone. It's your out and about device. And when you come home, you plug it into a dock. It charges. It gets an external GPU. It powers 3, 4 monitors, whatever. And a mouse and a keyboard, and you play your games on it. That is the future I'm very much looking forward to.
It is,
Someone
man.
do that.
32, I mean, it sounds completely cray-cray until you think about, okay, yeah, 10 years from now, what are you going to have, your 16K surround sound video movies? It's like, what's the data rate on that? Oh, yeah.
Or the, like, wireless VR headset that's just a pair of spectacles that you put on and you sit back on the couch and it's like, yep, I'm in a virtual world.
That's going to be great.
Wireless.
Man. You're going to have like a big honking microwave antenna just pointed straight at your brain.
I mean, we are the generation that had a cathode ray tube pointed directly at our eyes for hours on end.
That'd be great. You just tape some like instant popcorn to your face. Oh, man. Yeah, well, that's why you got to buy 2 Lennox.
Yeah. You make a RAID 1 out of those, and you have, it's not a backup, but it's all still there. You just have to find another one.
32. How do you RAID 5 that? You got that drive than a NAS?
Yeah, like worm storage and NAS, it'll go for years.
Yeah, it's next level.
Yep.
I love stuff like that existing. It makes me happy. All right, do we get anything else? Thursday, Jordan's still around. I don't know if Jordan's going to be back playing some more of his Canada Sucks at series with the Sandman. They're playing Divinity, Original Sin.
Yes. And they're actually making significant progress. I was surprised.
I try to watch as much as I can. And I check and make sure the stream's not on fire. And if it's not on fire, I'm like, all right, peace out. That's kind of my thing. I don't think I get anything else. Saturday.
Saturday is the big show.
It's a big
show.
Well, thanks again to Orn for the Ethernet cable from our wish list. And thanks again to Michael G for that Nighthawk. I know it's a Netgear. I didn't get the damn memo, guys. I didn't get the hate memo. I didn't know we were all supposed to hate on Netgear.
It's Chinese. They're spying on you. You can run the MZ. You can run DDWRT on it. They're still spying on you.
I don't know. I don't know. It's not Netgear. Netgear's like Behringer in some ways. They make some clapped out cheap stuff. If you're buying a router that's like 40 quid, it's going to route. That's, and then probably catch on fire and maybe kill your child in the middle of the night. That's what you 45.
Photo soda.
The mid-range stuff like Behringer. Behringer makes some really junk audio equipment. Mid-range stuff, same way. Pretty decent piece of kit for the price. And yeah, that helped out because we had to spend 100 watt sticky caches on this damn modem that we didn't expect to have to spend. And last night after our Meet the Freeman stream, I was like, oh Jesus, I'm gonna have to buy that microphone. But fortunately that didn't blow up on us. We were able to figure that out. That was just this tube preamp being squirrely. And who else do we got? And Arthur, of course, man.
Yes.
I look forward to
the clamp. Yeah, the clamp will be back.
Impaling. Both Jordan. It'll be better for once I figure out just in general, it'll be a better shot than Death Space. I gotta quit hitting that button, man.
You did that a couple of times during the show.
Yeah, it's because I have like the 2-shot mapped to 00, which is our Saturday show, which has credits preloaded on it.
So it doesn't show that overlay and everything going all wonky.
Well,
makes sense.
No, what it is I set up, after 2 years, I finally got around to setting up a weekly Daily Wednesdays scene. So we don't constantly, it's not me playing musical chairs with the video inputs at the beginning of every Saturday and every Wednesday. So I've learned them. My finger organs still haven't. We're not quite on the same page just yet.
Yeah, muscle memory is a bitch.
Been the Impaler. It's gonna be our Theorems Impaler. Thingamatron 9000.
The Arthurian Memorial Impaler.
It's just the only thing I'm worried about is because I know in my single shot when these two Yahoos are going to be stacked on top of each other, it's going to be like a really, really bad, especially on Saturday, like Brady Bunch type. Yeah, that type of stuff. I give it like 1 episode, maximum 2, before they start bringing props to screw with each other.
You give us way too much credit. Half an episode at best.
You never know, man. I'm optimistic. I like to think maybe we've matured.
No.
Oh, man. All right. I think that's it. I've given up trying to update the new Vapatron.
How many puffs are you in?
It's rolled over. I'm at 97, so.
Oh, it only does 100?
No, it does 100.
Or.
Listen, I'm only at 97, and I genuinely got this last Wednesday, so I've only rolled it once.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I cannot get the firmware to work with wine at all. This is not happening. And it doesn't really need to be fixed. There's nothing wrong with it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's kind of like this mouse. It also has a firmware update that you could, in theory, do, which fixes that's the big issue that it has, the Linux software that you have to change the color of the LEDs. If you use the pre-selected colors, it gives you a completely different one. It's like RNGesus in RGB format. But you don't really need it, because right below the color picker, there is another option that you can just enter the RGB value that you want, and it'll show it. So, and it's just LED colors. It doesn't affect the functionality at all. So,
this thing's going over USB, trying to hook into an Aegis chipset, and all Wine complains about it is they cannot find USB head device. That's all it'll tell me. I don't know how to debug Windows, so.
That might actually be an issue with Wine, because Wine input is still being worked on. They have game controller is almost down, but it's not there yet. So anything more advanced than a game controller is probably going to cause issues.
No, I mean, it's going for a head device. It's going for like a gerbil, dude.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like I said, it's not broke. It doesn't need fixing. It just annoys me. It's like, oh, there's an update out there that I haven't tried.
I know you can do that with virtual machines, Arthur, and I have, like, on my external hard drive over there, I have a Windows 10 VM from the key that they gave me in university for Windows 7 Pro back in the day. I just upgraded it as the years went by. It's like, oh, free upgrade. Okay, let's upgrade that VirtualBox. And it's still running. It's still working if I need it. It's just,
I got that Windows 10 ISO when they were genuinely giving it away for free. You never know in case of emergencies. I don't know. Something has went horribly wrong if ever crack it. It's on NAS somewhere. I'll just do a global search for ISO, because I don't have a bunch of ISOs laying around. They'll probably pop up. Okay, beautiful people. We are going to disappear until Saturday. Well, at least Pedro and I. Jordan will be back. And I don't know. I might be back. Pedro might be back. We need to do a Brad, man. We get.
Oh, yes. There was supposed to be one last Friday, but we never got around to that.
Yeah, I had all the networking stuff torn apart last Friday. It was around like 5 p.m. my time, and I genuinely was like, yeah, I'm sure everyone's figured out that I've ripped apart the network. So,
yeah, I'm totally done for some Brad on Friday.
All right, we will see if we can make that happen, and maybe if everyone wants to show up, we can do some LGC, zombie versus players afterwards after we get done with the Brad. So that'd be a thing we will enjoy doing. I'll make a post on the Patreons, letting everyone know we're in the Discords, and that'll be a thing. All right, Die to Fire. We love you.
Bye.